And so they're leading the investigation with the assistance of Boeing, NTSB, and the manufacturer of that's the fourth entity of the black boxes. All of them are getting together. So now it gets complicated because all of those people have to come over to Delhi. They have to reposition. And when you go to get into a black box to retrieve the data on a damaged black box, you can't just open the lid to it or unscrew the end of it. It doesn't work like that. It's a completely sealed device. And so you've got to now cut into it, right? So now cutting into it is a delicate process because you don't want to further damage anything that's on the inside. So you have to have the right precision equipment to do that. That's got to get sent over there. Now you got to assess the equipment on the inside of the flight data recorder. There's a motherboard in there, and if that motherboard is intact, it might need some cleaning up. You're going to remove that motherboard, and then you've got to take the data off that motherboard, and you've got to basically put it into a good flight data recorder. That process takes time because you don't want to lose any of the data. You don't want to erase it or compromise it, and you want to make sure you've got a clean transfer of data into that good flight data recorder. So once the motherboard is retrieved from the damaged flight data recorder and the information off of that motherboard is transferred to the good flight data recorder, you can begin the interpretation process, and that takes some time. So we'll put a pin in that for a minute because it's complicated in how it gets interpreted. Now let's take a look at some of the things that the flight data recorder does or doesn't do based on the various theories that we have so far in what brought Air India 171 down. The basic theories are this: a total electrical failure, total hydraulic failure, or a dual engine failure, or a combination of all three at this point. We know that because we got confirmation. We've got that from major media sources now that the rat was deployed. And one of those three things, or all three of those things, will deploy the rat. Now, the question is, what if it was a total electrical failure? Would the flight data recorders just stop recording and maybe we don't have any information from that point forward? Well, they've thought of everything, and in the flight data recorder is something called RIPS, R-I-P-S, and it's a recorder internal power source. It's its own internal battery, and it runs for 10 minutes. And it's just in case there is a total electrical failure, the flight data recorders continue to gather information. Now, this flight was a very short flight. It only lasted about 60 seconds. So I'm sure that the data they got was for the entire duration of the flight, basically because of those internal batteries inside those flight data recorders. Now, if it wasn't a total electrical failure and it was a dual engine failure, all of that information happened rather quickly.